Jim, one of my patients with rheumatoid arthritis, walked into my clinic on a Tuesday morning, and the first thing he did was reach out his hand to shake with me. But he winced. He tried to cover it, but I saw it. And when I looked down at his hands, the hands of a 52-year-old software engineer who types for 8 hours a day, I already knew something had changed. Jim had been on adalimumab, or also called Humira, for almost 2 years. When I last saw him 18 months ago, his hands looked perfectly normal. His inflammatory markers were normal. He had 0 swollen joints at the time when I saw him. Today, he sat down across me, looked at the floor for a moment, and then looked up. And he said, "Dr. Subedi, I have a confession. I stopped my medication about 4 months ago. I felt so good. I honestly thought I did not need it anymore. I thought I was cured of rheumatoid arthritis." In my clinic, I get this version of this conversation at least once a week. Sometimes it's a patient who quietly stopped because they felt better. Sometimes it's someone who read something online. Sometimes it's someone who just could not afford it anymore and did not know how to tell it to me. And behind every one of these conversations is the same question, the one most patients with rheumatoid arthritis are afraid to ask out loud. Do I actually have to take this medication forever? Before I tell you what happened to Jim and what I found on his x-ray that day, I need to explain 3 things. Because when you understand how RA works, the answer to that question we asked earlier becomes much, much clearer. And maybe the most important thing you will hear today in this video. So stay until the end. Before I go further, I have a small request. My marketing team has told me that almost 90% of you who are watching this video have not subscribed to our channel. So help other rheumatoid arthritis fighter by subscribing to our channel so they get these type of content available to them. Please hit that subscribe button and also hit that ring bell so that you get an alert when the new video comes from our channel. And also accept our gift, the Holistic Rheumatoid Arthritis Guidebook, as well as a free smoothie recipe that you can create in the morning. Going back to Jim's story, I had Jim's x-ray in front of me, and I was about to tell him something that would change how he thought about his medication for the rest of his life. But before I do, let me give you the 3 important things that will help you understand all of the concept that I'm telling you today. So lesson number 1, feeling fine is not the same as cured. Here is the most important thing I want you to understand about rheumatoid arthritis. Feeling good does not mean the disease has gone. It means the medication that you are taking is working for you. Think of it this way. RA is like a fire in your joints. The inflammation is the fire. Left unchecked, that fire slowly burns away cartilage and the bone in your joints. These are the structure that let you move, grip the things in your hand, and do things you really love. Your medication is a fire brigade. When the brigade is there, the fire is under control. The buildings looks fine. You walk in everything seems normal and fine to you. But if you send the fire brigade home, the fire does not stop. It just starts burning again. And this time, quietly, without any sirens, without any pain signals. It can do a lot of damage before you even know it's happening inside your joints. This is what rheumatologists mean by subclinical synovitis. Just a technical name to tell us that there is something fire going on inside your joint and you may not feel the pain. It is the inflammation that is active on the ultrasound imaging, but the patient feels nothing, no pain, no sweating they can see, and no pain that woke you up in the mornings. Just silent erosion happening inside your joints. We know this because we have looked. Studies using musculoskeletal ultrasound in patients who reported being in remission routinely find active synovitis in a significant proportion of those patients. That is the inflammation the patient has no idea was there, hiding inside your joints. So when our patient Jim told me that he felt great for 2 years on his medication, I believe him completely. He did feel great because the medication was doing exactly what it was supposed to do. The fire was under control. The moment he stopped, he sent the brigade home and the fire was raging inside his joints. So take home message, the inflammation in your joints is the fire. The fire brigade is controlling the inflammation, and that fire brigade is those medication. So if you stop it, the fire start burning again, causing damage to your joints. So lesson number 2, what actually happens when you stop your medications? Let's be honest with you about the research that shows what happens. When patients stop biologics medication, even after achieving remission, a large proportion of patients do flare. Some studies shows that up to 40 to 60% within the 12 months of stopping the medication. There was a study called PRESERVE trial looked at patients with stable rheumatoid arthritis who had been on etanercept, or also called Enbrel. Those who stayed or reduced the dose maintained the remission far better than those who stopped them completely. There is another study called DRESS, D-R-E-S-S, which used disease-guided tapering approach in patients on TNF inhibitors such as Enbrel, and they found that smart tapering, not stopping, resulted in significantly less medication use without losing the control of the disease. The common message from this research is consistent. Tapering slowly under guidance of your rheumatologist with frequent monitoring that can work for a subset of patients. To some of you, you might be able to slowly taper, but just don't stop cold turkey. And here's the part that is the hardest to hear. After a severe flare, especially a prolonged one, restarting the medication does not always work as well as it did before. We don't understand fully why. It may involve the immune system developing a memory response to the medication itself. But clinically, we see it. Patients who had a great response on a biologic for years, and they stop it and had a bad flare and they restarted the medication. Sometimes their response is just not the same. We are still trying to figure out why that happens. So the summary of the lesson number 3, even though you might be feeling fine, there is some subclinical inflammation. There might be a small amount of fire ongoing in your joint. So that's why don't stop your medication cold turkey. But with a consultation with your rheumatologist, they might help you guide to slowly taper if you really want to come off of your medications. Now, lesson number 3, the real path to tapering. Here is what I want you to know, and what I wish most patients understand about medication and rheumatoid arthritis. Tapering your RA medication is a real goal. Drug-free remission, meaning no medication and no active rheumatoid arthritis, is explicitly mentioned in the recent guideline as a long-term treatment goal in rheumatoid arthritis. That means we always try to get you off of your medication, but without causing the RA flare. That's a gold standard for rheumatology care. Less is always the better with the medication, but we have to control the disease. And in many of the patients, this is achievable, but it has to be a strategic goal between you and your rheumatologist. So here is what the guidelines suggest. You need to be on sustained remission, which means no sign or symptoms of active disease for at least 6 months. So if you are in a sustained remission for at least 6 months, then it might be worth a try of tapering your medications. And when you taper is step by step. First, you could extend the interval between the doses. Then consider reducing the dose, but not stopping, just tapering. And always get your guidance from your rheumatologist. Don't do it yourself. But always ask the question, when is the right time to taper? And your rheumatologist, based on your examination, based on your lab, your x-rays and ultrasound, they'll help you guide. So don't do it by yourself. Always get their help on when to taper and how to taper if you are ready to taper. And your rheumatologist will closely monitor. More frequent labs, more frequent visits can help understand better how your disease is doing. And occasionally, doing imaging studies such as X-rays and ultrasound would be a good tool to guide us in this journey of tapering of medication. Because the goal is to catch early signs of flare before it becomes a crisis. This is the scaffolding analogy I want you to remember. RA medication is scaffolding, holding a building while it repairs itself. You remove the scaffolding one piece by piece. Only once the structure has been stable for a significant period of time. You don't rip it off all at once and hope the building will stand. It will definitely fall. The scaffolding is not the enemy. It is a path to not needing it long term. Now, I also want to be honest about something that does not get said enough in rheumatoid arthritis. Not everyone achieves drug-free remission. For many patients, the goal is a sustained remission on the lowest effective dose of the medication, meaning you minimize the medication while keeping the disease quiet. And that is a real, meaningful, good outcome in managing rheumatoid arthritis. And it's not a failure. It is medicine working to control your rheumatoid arthritis. Now, let's get back to Jim. On that day, when I saw him, I looked at him across the desk. He looked at his hands. He already knew I showed him the X-rays. New joint damage. We call new erosions. 2 joints, small but visible, in areas that were clean 18 months ago. And he asked me what I knew he would ask. Can I get that back? But unfortunately, joint damage is permanent. Cartilage and bone do not regrow. What lost is lost. What we can do is stop losing more. At that visit, we started his adalimumab that day. We added methotrexate to give it more support. We talked about getting his Shingrix vaccine up to date. We talked about his diet, his sleep, his stress level, because we know the NESCR framework, our NESSCR framework, remind us that lifestyle is not separate from medication. It's a complementary to the medication. It is what makes medication works better. And then I said something I say to every patient who asks about stopping their medications. Jim, my goal, your goal is to get you to the lowest effective dose of the medication, or eventually to no medication at all. But the path there is through sustained remission, not around it. He nodded and asked me this question. Why did not anyone tell me that before? That's why I make these videos, so that every one of you who have rheumatoid arthritis, they hear this important message. If you have been wondering about stopping your rheumatoid arthritis medication, please don't do it quietly. Talk to your rheumatologist. Ask them about the tapering conversation. Ask where you are in the disease journey. Ask whether sustained remission is reachable for you or not. That conversation is the one that changes the trajectory of your rheumatoid arthritis. If you are finding this channel helpful, subscribe so that you don't miss any of the next videos. I come out every week. And if you have questions I haven't answered yet, leave them in the comment below. I read every one of them. And take care of your rheumatoid arthritis, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.